him, but again, look at the team fighting power that comes in from Rogue Warriors here. You've got this big showstopper from the set, you've got the Wukong as well trying to dive on towards the back line, and a lot of poke between Ruby and Harrow, which I think works quite well. I'm still not overly convinced by this Nidalee pick though. I think I would have preferred an Elise here because, as you said, the CC against the likes of Forge on these flanks or even denying cube access could have been very useful.
But you look at Rogue Warriors, looks like they fall off like a truck if everything goes wrong. You've got Wukong, Nidalee, you've got these mid-game mages as well. Let's see what happens with Rogue Warriors, because we didn't mention it before, but RW need every single win they can get. So do Vici. If Vici win this series, they go up to 6. Rogue Warriors will go up to 5. But Rogue Warriors can't afford to lose. Nor can Vici. Heads are on the chopping block here for this series as we move into game 1. Phase rush on Ruby. You normally see Aerie. Wow.
This is because, well, look, usually we do see Aerie where you can get a little bit of poke more successfully off in these fights, but when you start to go up against the likes of LeBlanc, the phase rush can work really well because Forge wants to go for quick poke, whereas Ruby will win out in the sustained fight. So keeping in range with your hammer form, or not your hammer form, even the cannon form, the phase rush will work really well there to poke out Forge.
My hand raised into the air because Lei has decided it's Omnistone set. Now, I know over the last couple of weeks we've been discussing this heavily, Mr. Dagda.
Yeah, and I'm still out in the works as to what works best here. So usually when it's Lei on this set, we go towards the Aftershock. So the idea with Omnistone is that you can take much more, well, you can take the Hex Flash and that, but the secondary tree is what you're focusing on. That's where you can take the approach velocity and you can close the distance far more quickly. Or not, Nimbus Cloak, sorry.
Nimbus Cloak, right.
Nimbus
yeah,
Cloak.
I'm with
sorry,
you.
where you can close that distance far more with your flash on cooldown. And it's about being aggressive in this early laning phase and winning in the laning phase to transition into a better moment in these team fights. Personally, I kind of feel like the Aftershock gives you just more reliability, which I would like from the set, especially when you're looking at this kind of double engage comp that you see with Lei and Hoder, providing the CC and the team fight setup with each other. I think Aftershock just gives you a little bit more in that scenario.
But what rune shows you're the best support? The guy that has all of it covered. That's Omnistone for you. We do the best of every world, but I wanted to bring your attention back up to this top lane. We're not going to see too much of it in the laning phase, but at the very least, we had a highlight on Cube once again, who's got that prestige skin that the LPL likes to show us every time a Malphite comes onto the Rift. And more importantly, Malphite is actually becoming a bit more staple. Still more of a niche pick, but we're seeing him more and more every week.
It is definitely still a niche pick, but it is against these heavy bruisers, AD focused bruisers in the top lane like Wukong. He did have a little bit of a rework a while ago, so like his W is now a cleave, does quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. So he can do quite a bit of work in one, keeping control of the wave now, but two, also going up against the likes of Wukong, where you can stack a bunch of this armor, and when you're looking at the main damage sources on Rogue Warriors being AD for Wukong, AD for Ruby and Zhang Wuji, it makes sense in this scenario.
We're just having a look at what you were talking about before with the Omnistone take here. Of course, you mentioned the Hex Flash. Futures Market as well, something you don't see every day, but a nice addition with the Nimbus Cloak you're also talking about. So, well spotted here for Lei. We'll track that lane a little bit closer here, as Lei is level 3, Wuji is level 2. Now 3. He's a bit behind in experience, interestingly enough. They're getting shoved into the bottom side, while Ike's has control of bottom side river with a scuttle available, while you can see Harrow has taken that and is moving up, but nothing to clear on the top side.
And this is the problem that I have with Nidalee into Olaf. You don't actually get to clear or steal away camps and abuse how quick Nidalee's clear speed is, because Olaf clears just as damn fast as you. But when you hit the teamfight stage, Olaf can do a lot of work, usually. But with Rogue Warriors composition, they do have a decent amount of kite back potential, so maybe they can just move away from Ike's and make the Olaf a non-factor in these
Plus,
fights.
Ike's Olaf has been a must-ban. Ike's Olaf has been his best champion by far, and Olaf in the LPL is still rated as an A, S-tier pick in some cases, so it is danger zone here for Harrow, but Harrow has been that danger zone player. Last series we saw him against top esports. It was the Graves game 1 with Phase Rush, where he got a massive lead, but couldn't close it out.
Yeah, Duo's 369 on top, who, with a late game scaling champion, got a lot more kills.
What do you
for
prefer,
himself.
Vladimir or Graves,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So I'll always put my money down on a fed Vladimir. Unfortunately, Haro couldn't close it out. This time, though, on the Nidalee, we'll have to see what kind of work he can do. And definitely going to need to play a much more aggressive style in Italy than we usually see, because, as we said, won't really have the opportunity to steal away camps and put the enemy jungler behind.
They're just clearing at the moment for both junglers, just going back and forth. Top side now for Ike's, swapping sides of the map is Haro now on the bottom side himself. A mountain to start this game off, but I don't think Ike's cares about that right now. Cube has a shove in this lane, Holder forced back a little bit here with the wave crashing in.
So when you look at these compositions, and because we've got the Nidalee here for Rogue Warriors, hang on.
I don't think Rogue Warriors want to take this trade. Good haymaker, but the dazzle comes through. iBoy will have Gravitum in a second. Halo play's not going to help you out of that one. And Haro now behind turret thinks about the dive differently.
Look, all I'm saying is Aftershock would have helped them in that situation. But anyway, going back to our composition point, I may have to hold off because it looks like we got some aggression coming through.
He's been spotted out on a control ward here. He's going to look for the javelin toss. There's no point at this point because the bottom lane of Rogue Warriors got so chunked out in that trade that now Haro won't be able to find an opening.
They'll be forced back under their tower. The wave is pushing in, so it means the aggression won't be too high coming in from Vici at the moment. But I do want to look at Rogue Warriors comp because this is where we're looking at Haro and Ruby are going to be this big poke style of play. Spears and those accelerated shot blasts will do work when we get to the later portions of the game after a bit of items start to come through. And then we've got when one person is cut down or there's a low health bar on Vici's side, we can look for this Cyclone play.
Now Cyclone does a bit of damage at this point, but yeah, Cube's outie. See you later.
Yeah. Our force out of lane very quickly. Cube, once he gets the Sunfire Cape and stuff. Oh, hang on.
A dive, javelin toss. They know he's there. He gets hit.
Oh, no.
Now Holder's got the wave right in front of him. I think this is the potential first blood. Are you ready, Dagda?
This is first blood. Haro's going to stop him again. Here comes the spear.
He's going to try and dodge one thing. Which one?
Yeah.
Javelin toss important. Here comes the dive. Now Cube has his shield activated. He's holding the wave. Tries to outplay it, flashes away, but Haro gets it in the end. A first blood premeditated from Rogue Warriors.
Great job from Holder to punish this early game from Cube. Cube will take over this lane when he gets his Sunfire Cape completed. At the moment, though, it's still favored.
Ike's trying to get a response. Facebreaker's there into the Ragnarok. Can Ike turn it around? Well, not with that kind of damage. He's out of there as well, and Vici can't trade.
He went for the invade when he didn't have his bot lane in position. They had already started to rotate up here. That's looking at this Rift Herald in a few moments.
Yep.
But Ike's is off on a different tangent with the red buff steal here. Yes, Hong and iBoy have completed their roam towards the top side, but now you get the opportunity for Zhang Wuji to push in this lane super aggressively, and they can still back and be here for Rift Herald.
Because at this point, with Rift Herald on the cards, I mean, we can talk a little bit about compositions. I said that Rogue Warriors look like they fall off like a truck. Now, truck is not the right word because trucks don't really fall off. I didn't know they even scaled into late game. But at this point, Rogue Warriors look like they don't.
Yeah, well, look, it's a composition that does scale relatively well. But you've got great kite back because of the acceleration gate, and you're just tossing spears, poking all the time, and that's the idea behind this, as Ike's is nicely demonstrating. So they're looking to poke people out and then have Holder, Zhang Wuji, and Lei be those engage tools for afterwards to set up their engage. The problem that I'm having, though, is that Vici are going to be quite spread out, so they can start to play off on these sides and not provide many access for the poke. But also, you've got Q. The problem that poke has is if it gets engaged on, Malphite's really good at engaging on people, so it'll be up to Rogue Warriors to try and play keep away in this scenario.
And he has the teleport here for the Rift Herald play. Vici are grouping up, they flash on top of Rupee. The flash is matched here. Haro gets low, but Vici can't find the access point into the Rift Herald pit, and Rogue Warriors will take the objective, back away for now, only burning a flash on their mid laner.
And that hurts when Vici were the ones that started to rotate first towards that Rift Herald. They got the back timing. iBoy and Hung played it perfectly. Unfortunately, Ike's was not with the call, and it means that when Rogue Warriors approach it, they can steal it away.
It's too important to get these turret platings here for Cube. Split pushing Malphite. You know how quickly he does that turret? Well, he gets another one, and there's actually only 2 plates left, so to Cube's credit, he has a bit of gold.
But don't forget that Cube usually wouldn't be able to do much, but because of the changes in 10.6 with the melee champions doing more damage to those turrets, actually might have been 10.5 now to say, but still, working quite well for Cube there, where he's able to get some of those turret plates over, and now has got the chain vest. So this is where Cube will start to be able to hold his own against Holder when they face him.
So what you're saying is Malphite is now as good as Tryndamere at split pushing?
Yes.
Yes.
Although
Good.
Tryndamere, I'm not going to lie, will definitely be even more obnoxious.
He's probably a little bit better. Yeah, all jokes aside. For Cube as well, the W always helps well. He picked up a bit of turret plating, he went back. You mentioned the items there, still not towards the first one. Across the board, we're not at a first item, really. But notice the itemization on Ruby for this lane. He's 20 CS down, and he's gone into the Hex Drinker.
This is, as we said, a bit of a weird, tough lane, sorry, for the...
But tough for who? Maybe the top lane now. Lei's going to get the face breaker into Hung. Couple of spears with the Ren. The trade not going to hurt too much because Hung knows how to heal him. But you can see that Lei is getting pretty aggressive in the microtransactions up in this top lane.
So Ruby definitely finds himself in a tougher lane this time around. So opting for the Hex Drinker is going to try and save him. A good chunk of damage is coming in. And as we talked about, the biggest issue for Rogue Warriors is trying to avoid these flank plays from the likes of Forge and getting burst out, or even Cube coming in the flank as well. So having this Hex Drinker to just sustain up or keep himself healthy against this AP damage is definitely needed. Most importantly, off of this, I want to see Rogue Warriors controlling the vision in this game. If Rogue Warriors, very similar to what we saw in their last series against Top Esports in Game 2, if they're able to control the vision and stop this heavy engage from the likes of the Malphite or from this LeBlanc coming over a wall, they can certainly clear this game out and end up winning it. But they need to, again, to keep vision across all these different places.
That's already starting here with the back of Baron, Dragon Pit rather, as Haro is trying to push up and deny Hung. The poke starting to come out. You see the burn. Lei has death in his eyes with the showstopper into the backline. He still can't kill Hung. Oh no. Way too early here from the support. The flash is going to come forward with the smite to slow him down. Ruby to jump back in. It's already too late.
Oh,
Way
no.
too much.
That was painful to watch. This is the, like, he gets electrocuted on the Omni Stone, so like, I'm getting in there, and it ends up costing him. Hong gets the heal in the end, and he didn't even have to burn the Cosmic Radiance, so Vici are able to get this dragon. That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know. Hey, people are going to start blaming Omni Stone for that one, but that was just Lei. Let's be quite honest.
Just Lei,
hey, he's the most experienced member in this roster. Like,
yeah.
Haro, we remember from Worlds, we talked about it before, but Lei has like 5 years of experience in the LPL. That's not the play you expect from a seasoned veteran supporters. We have to replay.
And one that I actually really like watching. Lei is usually a big playmaker for Rogue Warriors, but this was not it, Chief. Goes in, haymaker down, doesn't even get the face breaker, and Ruby also ends up paying for that mistake. Now the mid lane though.
Oh, maybe they find something in high boy. They do. Okay. The poke goes right back, and you can see there's still the damage there from Rogue Warriors with a good pick onto the AD carry. And Rift Herald now put down.
Ruby will be delighted to get some of this gold, and Haro is also trying to help himself out in this scenario. Poke is the name of the game for Rogue Warriors, so setting up Ruby and setting up Haro are the two members that we need to keep our eyes on. I also want to keep an eye on what Haro is building in this game, because usually we start to see a Nidalee that will go towards the likes of the Athenes and Holy Grail and this kind of stuff, because you want to be useful in these team fights. This time around, I prefer to see Haro go for all-out damage. You have to be providing as much poke as possible in conjunction with Ruby to dissuade Vici from taking any of these fights.
And let's be honest, support Nidalee in the jungle is boring. We want to see that poke.
Yeah.
Do you remember old Nidalee, how good it
was
felt?
Disgusting.
You land one spear
Nidalee?
in the game. Yeah. But even back in the day, like, let's say ARAM, right? You play a game of ARAM and you get Nidalee and it's like, well, we can't win. We're having a look in the bottom left-hand corner of how this started. It was a flank play. That was just a lot of burst damage from Haro, and you might get your wish. We got cooldown reduction boots, but a Fiendish Codex is a good sign. Definitely
Is, and I'm glad that Haro's on the same page here. This is going to be, as we said, quite tough for Rogue Warriors to execute this. Now the Cube is on this Malphite. It was pretty much any other champion, I'd be like, yeah, they can definitely play this nice and easily. You can kite back, but the Malphite is so difficult to escape from. I put him on the same level as the Maokais. It's really hard to escape from these two tanks.
Both are just so beefy.
Yeah.
It's funny how we've changed meta once again. It's a larger discussion. I want to bring us back into this game because as we talked about Cube not joining the fight before or using the TP, he sat in that bottom lane, picked up 3 bits of turret plating plus the one top, got 640 gold. The split pushing Malphite so far, so good.
And the good news for Vici there as well is that, look at the, actually I'm going to hang on to my points here.
Dazzle going to come through, Ruby going to back away. Haro's now joined up, so Vici reserved back a bit in this mid lane. Ike's looking to shadow with a nice cheeky ward here, spotting out Haro too.
So we talked about Vici making the moves to try and get on towards Rift Herald, but even though Rift Herald went across the Rogue Warriors, the gold income from turret plates has gone over towards Vici, Cube being the main beneficiary there. So now Cube is better off situated in this 1v1 lane.
Yep.
So even though Rift Herald went over to begin with, Vici actually ended up winning out in the long run.
They're now in front of the next one, looking to start it up. I want to clarify what I said before. I said Fiendish Codex was a good sign. Now remember, this can go into Athene's Unholy Grail.
Yeah.
So maybe not just yet, we'll see. But Rift Herald started up at 6k. And Rogue Warriors don't look like they're in a position to contest this one. Not everyone's here. They get the poke down. Forge jumps in though. Wow. A lot of burst damage from the Luden's Echo. LeBlanc with 2 kills. Vici secure the Rift Herald. Ruby wants to run on in, but this doesn't look too coordinated. Holder gets jumped on. Forge jumps back in. They look here for the Fate's Call support, but he's out. And Haro's out as well.
Poke hasn't landed from Rogue Warriors just yet. Hung does manage to catch one of those spears at the moment. But either way, Rogue Warriors realize, look, we haven't got this damage down. We haven't tried to force Vici back. We need to take it safe because Cube is hunting for us here.
We can kind of see the downfalls of a team like Rogue Warriors using a composition like this, right? Where Rogue Warriors are not the most successful team in the LPL. They're sitting at the moment at below 8. Like, they're below. We have so many teams in the LPL, let's be honest. But they're in the bottom pool right now. Vici rising to the occasion, a little bit higher than them. But Rogue Warriors are not a team that's been consistent throughout the board. So with such a difficult composition, not everything is going the way you'd expect here with maybe a more seasoned veteran team.
And this is why I like the composition that Vici's gone for, because from an execution standpoint, it's far easier. And Forge is showing that he's really good on these assassins. We saw it on the Akali in the last game. Kassadin as well, that we already discussed. And Forge will be more than happy to sit off on these sides and really look to put pressure onto Zhang Wuji and Ruby. And Poke hasn't been landing as successfully as they would like so far for Rogue Warriors. So Vici will set up around. Oh, hang on.
Okay, we have to hang. Lay's going to flash away again. Double binding connects here, but wow! Hang on was right, Dagda. Where did Lay go?
Oh, this is not working out too hot for Rogue Warriors so far.
Nope.
A 2k gold lead now separates them from Vici. And this Dragon setting Vici on soul point. Haru has got to try and make a steal here.
At 17 minutes here.
So the good news here for Rogue Warriors is this makes their poke far easier. Vici are sitting ducks right now, and maybe Haru and Ruby can make it work.
But the poke connects onto Ike's on the backside. Dragon goes back into the pit, but Smite secures it as the ulti from Cube, the dazzle as well. Goodbye, Sun Wukong. Vici on soul point.
Wukong not able to find the entrance that he wanted to with no poke and no support to follow him up. So Rogue Warriors, again, we're only 17 minutes into this game, 3 dragons. This is, I'm pretty sure, the earliest Dragon Soul we've seen so far in the LPL.
Right?
Yeah. This is an insanely early Dragon Soul.
And to clarify on our previous conversation with the difficulty of the composition, Rogue Warriors right now are sitting 12th. So they are in the lower echelon here in the LPL when we have 17 teams. Vici at 10th. An important series to note because a win here for either team props them up into a position to contest for that final playoff position. Vici have that extra win on the board, sitting 5-7 right now. And for Vici Gaming, you got to look at this and say their games as of late have been more structured. This composition does sell me a Vici Gaming that knows their win condition, and that is a lot more simpler than a team like Rogue Warriors.
And I think that's why I've been liking Vici's compositions as of late. They're not these crazy protect the Wukong, protect the Misfortune compositions. It's, okay, Forge, you like your assassins, you like this, great, let's stick you onto them, but you still got to keep yourself safe while you do so. But it also, you know, Ike's back onto comfort with the Olaf. Cube, you're an engage tool. This is where they seem to be a lot more comfortable, and it's not Cube on the likes of the Orin, which he has struggled with in the past. These Wukongs and even as a Malphite are working out superb for Vici.
Like we've already started here for that top laner too. There's going to be an Iceborne Gauntlet on the way for Cube. And Forge, meanwhile, in a side lane is so damn confident. Ruby going to skirt away from danger. One binding with the Sigil of Malice, and that's it. especially with the 3-0 LeBlanc, who's 40 CS up on the Forge. But meanwhile, Vici dropped the Rift Herald here in the mid lane. They won't get the turret just yet, but you can see skirting forward. Lei actually going to go for the engage. He pulls back Cube, but that's the Malphite. No damage done here. He walks away. Lei is not having the game we expect out of this veteran. And now for Ruby, wants to find something off the side.
Rogue Warriors are still trying to get the poke. This is where they're hunting to see if they can get the damage to stick. Still have to be careful though, Cube does have that engage tool available.
Poke's still trying to come out. Lei with the Hex Flash, but he's been spotted out once again. Interrupted, Forge over the wall.
Oh, no.
He did this last time. There's the shield from the Haymaker, but saved by the Fate's Call once again. Holder zoned out of the fight as the turret is destroyed as well.
Rogue Warriors are not getting any sort of foothold in this game. The poke isn't really doing the work, especially when Hung has been able to heal it up pretty successfully when it does land. And even when Vici, very disjointed on that play, you can see iBoy was only coming out of the base right as they dropped that Rift Herald, so they didn't finish off the turret in the first go. But because they're happy to just stick around and force back Rogue Warriors with a little poke from Forge, they get the tower anyway.
You can see how reliant they are on Lei. When he fails, everything goes downhill. And just to touch out on Lei again, the reason we say he's the veteran here is because this guy started as an AD carry over in Royal Club in 2014. Became a support, Team King, RNG once again, Starhorn Royal, and then back in the LDL. Stuck around in the LDL for a while, and we saw his return to the LPL on V5 last year. So Lei is that player that, yes, has been around for a while, so you expect more out of him in this bottom lane.
And he needs to be the one who starts off the engages in a lot of situations in conjunction with Holder. The perfect teamfight combo for Rogue Warriors is to have Lei go in with the showstopper, to group multiple people together, for Holder to then come in with Cyclone #1, knock them all up again, Facebreaker from Lei when that's done, to then hold them in place for Cyclone #2, and that is a really obnoxious combo to try and deal with. The big problem that we're seeing here though is Lei is being forced to take a step back and try and draw members into Rogue Warriors because their poke isn't landing, their engage isn't as strong, and the flanks aren't quite coming together. We talked about Rogue Warriors need to keep control of the vision, especially in the river, and to spot out where Vici are coming through from. That hasn't been the case so far. Vici been doing a great back of controlling that vision game.
Cube has no MR, but with that shield, no damage being done here to the Malphite. Hung just heals it up as well. And Rogue Warriors struggling here. That 3k gold deficit stands through the mid lane at 22 minutes. We've got a Dragon on the way in 15 seconds.
And speaking of Hung's healing, it's only going to get worse from here. He's got that redemption underway. Such a smart build.
Oh, wow. And Forge jumping in as well. Negates Ruby's poke once again. You can see distance being gained here by Rogue Warriors, but the turret even negates that too. Ike's walking in because he doesn't care at this point. He doesn't think Holder's a big deal, which he's definitely not. Now Vici heading towards the Dragon.
This is where Vici needs to find the engage beforehand.
Oh, onto Holder. They might do that. The Dazzle comes through, almost gets Ruby. He flashes away. The Malphite holding on to two people. Holder first, but here comes Cosmic Radiant. And it's perfect. Ult misses as they flash away, but over the wall, Ike follows up one. And Lei's ult once again means nothing. A good Haymaker. But the making is done by Vici in the end.
And they will turn towards the Dragon afterwards. We already said Rogue Warriors would look for Vici to group up in this objective pit. A lot easier to land that poke on targets that are trying to kill the Dragon. But Vici realized this. They walk into the jungle and dive on top of Rogue Warriors. And after that, there's nothing they can do.
I think we're seeing that the strongest out of the two, if it's Kalista and Taric, at the moment it feels like Taric. And it's not just this game. Yeah. Taric looks great, and Hung looks great on this pick. Now, while we're talking about Lei, and while we've just seen Ocean Soul go the way of Vici Gaming, it's time to talk about Hung. Because Hung, this is his debut split in the LPL. Came from Vici Gaming Potential, and he's been on point.
And he is in this fight as well. And especially when at the beginning for Vici, Hung wasn't having the best of performances. His Nautilus was overextending in cases. He's since developed into such a strong performer on this Vici lineup. And we see it again here. Cosmic Radiance looking great. The smart build path coming through with the redemption first, and really providing exactly what Vici need in a lot of circumstances.
This guy just turned 17 in February, by the way. So the reason he came up is he only just turned... That's right. as Forge looking for a solo kill in the top lane. Now maybe Ruby can turn it around with the help of Rogue Warriors, but Forge jumps on in. He doesn't respect it. Jumps in delay, the face breaker there, but Ike's helping him out. Haro going for the dive, but that ain't worth. Nor is Lay sticking around here. Under total land, slow down there, flash away yet again. Just the usual for the support of Rogue Warriors.
I think the Glacial Augment actually saved him there. I think
really?
stopped Ikes from being able to chase him down because of that auto, but still, the rest of the Rogue Warriors fall down as a result. Ruby, Harrow both gone. Forge does die, but Vici still on the map and still looking for more.
And the Baron is just more to the basket, isn't it? 25 minutes. This is going to be spotted out, but do they care? I mean, Lay on the back pit, teleport going to be channeled, and Holder's coming in too.
Cube just got to engage.
Here we go, Malphite rock solid, Holder. Who's going to run away first? You know Cube's looking at Jung Wooji instead. The Callista jumping in, the Aphelios ult misses though. Rogue Warriors have a chance, Holder comes in, but Consecrated once again, Lay ulties into the back of the pit. But what is the effect? Wooji's getting zoned out by a Malphite. Cube doesn't even have any AP. He destroys him, Baron goes down, Cube doesn't die. Rock solid as ever here from the top laner.
Cube is just chasing down Zhongru-Ji, and you know the comms are just, guys, help, anyone, please, no? Because Lay and Holder have gone into the pit, and they don't get anything done. No smite, no luck, and now Ocean Soul, Baron buff, Vici are in a commanding spot.
He has an adaptive help. Haro wasn't doing any damage before, he sure is not going to do any damage now. And the worst thing, as a team that loves to poke, is running into like Malphite, like a Taric, even like an Olaf at this point when you're so far behind. Yeah. You don't do anything. And Forge is running the map at this point, so props again to Forge, who recently has been kicking ass.
He's been doing an awesome job, and I'm delighted to see it. We were talking about Zika, how does that fit in? Chieftain, how does this fit in?
Yep.
But Vici have found their team, and they look so strong at the moment. Now about to crack the base, and looking to set them up with their first win on the board in this series.
They need to find game number one, look better than they did against OMG and keep this consistency going. That's important. As Vici break the inhibitor, they want to go for the end here.
They're starting to push forward. They have a few minions left, but Poke is not really doing too much to them right now.
Forge just took a spear and he's healed up. Next wave coming in. I'm not sure what Rogue Warriors can do here. Cube ults into two people, wow. Just like that, huh? Holder into the backline here with a Cyclone, but at this point, Wukong does nothing, and Holder's going to get smacked down. Vici looked great. Rogue Warriors did not, and it's as simple as that here for a Game 1 win. Keep the momentum going, and Vici will continue to climb.